hot takes. Everyone has a couple here and there, and especially about your football team and the football team you support, you must have tons of them. So I thought we are building a decent community on this channel of Arsenal fans, and I thought to ask you guys for your Arsenal hot takes, and I'm going to react to them in a video, and this is exactly what we'll be doing today. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Guna Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. So the first one is from Guna Edits, and he says, this is Arsenal summed up. A goalkeeper that can't save, as in David Raya, a left back that can't defend, as in Zinchenko, and a striker that can't score goals, as in Gabby Jesus. Now, where do I stand with this? Well, I think at first the goalkeeper that can't save, as in David Raya. Listen, I'm a huge Ramsdale fan. I prefer Ramsdale as a keeper. I think Ramsdale is a better overall keeper, but I still think Raya is a decent keeper. I think Raya can make his saves. Yes, he has proven costly at times, especially with chances that seem easy to save. He lets them slip under him or whatever the case is, but I don't know if I agree with the fact that he's a goalkeeper that can't save. Yes, he's proven dodgy, but to be fair, Ramsdale has done the exact same thing. It's proven dodgy as well. Again, I prefer Ramsdale as a keeper, so I don't know where I stand with that first line. The second one about a left back that can't defend, as in Alexander Zinchenko. There, I must say I agree. I think Alexander Zinchenko, what he brings us on the ball, it's pretty decent, but off the ball, it's horrendous. He gets cooked by, it seems like, every level of a winger, and it does prove very costly, especially in the big games. Again, we saw it with Liverpool. Zinchenko struggles a lot when he has to go up against a winger that can cook him, and that's exactly what happened against Liverpool. He got cooked, especially in that goal we conceded, the Salah goal. Zinchenko showed no fight there. Zinchenko just got pushed to the inside. Salah hits on his left foot, and that's that. So I agree with the fact that he's a left back that can't defend and a striker that can't score goals, as in Gabby Jesus. I don't know where I stand with that. Yes, he's not clinical. Yes, he doesn't score as much as you'd expect from a number 9, but he's still a decent striker. But you know what, actually you're right, a striker that can't score, that is him. He doesn't score nearly enough as a striker, neither does Eddie. So yes, a striker that can't score goals, as in Gabby Jesus. I pretty much agree with that. The next one we have is from Giorgio Rodriguez, and he says Saka has the potential to win the Ballon d'Or. This may be a hot take from me now, but I disagree. I don't think Saka will ever get near winning the Ballon d'Or. Of course, I would love to be proven wrong as an Arsenal fan, as a guy that loves our academy players. I love Saka to death, but realistically, there are tons of players around football that you could say, oh, he's going to win a Ballon d'Or one day, and Saka may be one of them, but in my eyes, realistically, I don't think he's ever going to get there. There are so many guys ahead of him. Haaland, Mbappe, Anthony, that was of course sarcasm in case you didn't pick it up. Bellingham, I mean, I could sit here forever and name tons of young players that are about his level. I'm not saying he's not a good right winger, but to me, to have the potential to win the Ballon d'Or, I mean, you look at how good Neymar was back in 2015, and he still didn't win a Ballon d'Or. Yes, that was because of Ronaldo and Messi, and nowadays is different. But to me, I don't think, unless you win the Premier League and Champions League in the same season, I don't think Saka is going to ever win the Ballon d'Or. Yes, you could argue he has the potential, but I mean, 60% of Wonder Kids also have the potential to win the Ballon d'Or, so I don't agree with this statement. The next hot take we have is from Mandoyandu, and he says, if we sign a striker and a fullback, we win the league by a 5+ point gap. I agree with this, but again, it depends on what striker and what fullback and what their qualities are. If we go get a Vlahovic and maybe a Hato, I could see a way we win the league. By the points gap, I don't know. It could be by 10. Could be by 2. It doesn't really matter to me by how much of a points gap we win the league by. As long as we win the league, I'll be so gassed. So even though to some of you, I think this may be a hot take, but to me, I completely agree with it. If we go get in a target man like Vlahovic, he's going to change the game completely. And then if we can go into the market and get a decent left back, I really think we have a good squad overall. I know right now it's quite sad times for Arsenal. We're struggling all around the board, but I do agree with them. I think if you look at our squad as a whole, I think we're a pretty good, well-rounded squad with some good players here and there. But I agree, one striker and one fullback to a decent level, if they can come in, they can change the team a little bit. I think we still can win the league. I mean, right now we're only 5 points behind Liverpool. Even as bad as we have been, I can see a way we can turn it around and maybe win the league. I'm not saying we're going to, but I can see if we get a good striker and a good fullback, I can see a way we can. Next hot take we have is from SvenTP, and he says Havertz can become a club legend. And here's my take on that. I completely agree. Obviously, it's still early days for him in Arsenal, but I completely agree. If he plays here for 10 years, if he plays at least to Xhaka's level, I mean, if you think about it, right, Xhaka is a club legend. Let's just say it like it is. He is a club legend. And remember that time where everyone hated him, everyone blamed him for how bad we were doing, and he's ended up being a club legend after 2 or 3 good seasons with us after that. Havertz can do the exact same thing, and I really like what Kai brings to us. I think he makes our midfield a lot stronger. He helps us out in the air. He's proven clinical at times. He helps the offense out. I mean, I really like what Kai Havertz can bring to us. Of course, we don't know what the future holds, but if he can stay here for 10 years, perform to a really good level, then in my eyes, he's going to be a club legend. So I do completely agree with this statement. Next is from JackLogan, and he said, "We bottled it again, losing easy games that we should win easily." I agree with that. I think we should have won those games. Yes, they're not easy games. West Ham and Fulham are always tricky games, but realistically, if you want to win the league, those are games you just have to win. You can't be slipping up to those teams, especially against West Ham at home. I know West Ham are a good team, but especially West Ham at home and Fulham away. I know Craven Cottage can prove difficult, but we should have won those games, especially the way that the games went. We just put in some piss poor efforts. We weren't good at all. We should have won those games. So I completely agree with it. But then also, again, you said we bottled it, as in I'm assuming you mean the league. Again, we are only 5 points off Liverpool. Still half a season to play. Anything can happen. Anything can change. I'm not saying we bottle the league until we get to the final match day and we can't win the league. Until then, I'm always going to have a little bit of hope and faith that there's always a possibility that we win the league. But that's why I'm saying I kind of agree that we should have won those easy games, quote unquote easy games anyway, but I don't know if we bottled it just yet. And the last one we will do today is English with me, and he says Arteta is a terrible coach. I completely disagree. Completely. You look what Arteta has done, the people he's developed from Martinelli to Bukayo Saka, to finding a role for a guy that everyone thought was a bust in Kai Havertz, to developing Gabriel. I think he's a really good developmental coach, and I think had we won the league last season, no one would be saying that. It's just the fact that we lost from inexperience and a thin squad that we went out and lost the league. Now, I'm not saying he's a great coach, not yet anyway, but I think he's still a really young coach. He's proven he is worth a spot at the helm. So I'm not saying he's a great coach, but I think the fact that you think Arteta is a terrible coach, I just think that's completely wrong, and I completely disagree with it. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below which hot takes do you agree with and which don't, and why. Let me know all that in the comments below. I want to do more of these hot take videos in the future, so stay on the lookout for that on my community tab in my channel. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.